Why war won't work with Gen Z? Lock it in.
They say every couple of generations.
Peanut butter with the gifted. W gifted by Pajami. W's in the chat right now.
One generation is bound to experience. You know, they say every couple of generations, one generation is bound to experience the most life-changing events in history. And so far, it's looking like Gen Z is fitting the boot. Okay, maybe that's a little bit of an exaggeration, but can you blame me after all the things we've had? Most of us were born around the time or after one of the most devastating.
If you get drafted, what you trying to be? You trying to be on the front lines? Or you trying to be a chef? A mechanic? Like, what are you trying to, what would you be? You get drafted, you have to. Like, say all of us right now, we all have to get drafted. Doesn't matter if you're 12, you going. What do you want to go to the Army, to the Navy, to the Air Force? And what job do you want to do when you're there? A cook? I think a cook is nice. My brother was a cook for some time. My brother was a cook. I want to be on the front. Yeah, front lines, no way. Here's my thing. I actually want to come back. I think the Marines are the hardest. I think they're the toughest out of them. I'm probably going to get some slack for that, but that's just always what it felt like as a guy from the outside. Air Force, like my dad and grandpa. Okay, that's dope. Navy. Oh, what you just told me is that you're gay. I see. I know what you want to do under that water. Gay. No, I'm kidding. Supply, since they see no combat. I don't know if I want to even be that close. Or wait. What if I can just be a spy? Yeah, 007 type. You feel me? But I'm like not really killing. I'm just collecting information. You're not sneaky? Dude, you literally won't even hear me right now. Watch this. Everybody, shh. Won't even hear me. You feel me? That's not even muted. That is just straight spy. I'm already on it. People tell me all the time, I walk mad quiet. They're like, bro, I never hear you when you walk. And I've been practicing all my life. You know how weird it would to see a black dude in China, North Korea, or Iran? Dude, not weird at all. There's always a few. I'll just be one of the few. Come on, man.
Terror, all the things we've had. Most of us were born around the time or after one of the most devastating terror attacks in modern times happened. We saw our parents trying to keep their sanity during the 2008 financial crisis. As soon as we stepped out into the real world as adults, everything decided to shut down because of COVID in 2020. We've been having drills since we were 5 at school in case a lunatic comes in and mows the whole school down. And now to add the cherry on top, we may be running back to draft and being put on the warfield. Excuse me, I meant you guys may be running back to draft and on the warfield. I just found out I'm highly on the spectrum, so unfortunately that means I can't qualify.
Nah, people are gonna be running up anything. Any type of disability, they are going to be at the doctor's office. Everyone, dog.
But good luck, future soldiers. On the spectrum, so unfortunately that means I can't qualify. But good luck, future soldiers. I'll give y'all each a high five and you can have fun on the battlefield. It's crazy how Gen Z is kind of running back what millennials had. Because millennials had a war growing up with a terrible economy and had to worry about if they could even afford a house. But man, at least they had good music coming out. What the f do we have for these turmoil times? Lil Mabu? I don't think I really have to
What?
explain too much what's
We
going
got
on.
gunner.
If you don't keep up with the news, you've probably seen the memes already about hitting 360 no scopes on the battlefield. But the United States of America officially got involved with the Israel and Iran conflict and decided to drop 3 bombs on what they say is their nuclear sites. But of course, that's just a theory. A game theory. All right, I'm sorry. I feel like I need to take these matters more serious. Now, I'm not going to say too much of my personal opinion on it and break this down like it's a 5-hour political podcast. I usually say and talk about things more on stream, so definitely go follow me on there in the second channel. But it's not surprising that everyone is scared online and doesn't know what's going to happen. You know, in the past, you usually didn't have a president tweeting that they bombed a country, then posting a low PNG photo of the American flag right after. This is definitely the worst time to be the ripe age.
This man was posting up this set on Twitter like, yeah, boy, straight USA, boy. Straight USA, boy. Don't even try us, boy. I was like, brother, what's going on? Why is he posting the flag? Should I be posting the flag too? Rep my set? Rep my set? I'm just going to Jamaica though, chat. That's where I'm going, dude. That's where I'm going. Like, I love the United States, but be crazy to die for a lunatic.
18 to 25, because we going first if the draft happens. Unfortunately, high school class of 2025, you only got a couple of seconds of freedom before you were cooked. I've been thinking to myself for a while, in a hypothetical, unlikely scenario of them actually doing a draft, the government doesn't realize that
it would not work with Gen Z.
Gen Z has got to be the worst generation for them to try and get on the war train with them. And this isn't even mentioning about all the femboys and furries we got. Not even talking about how half of us are either morbidly obese or twigs. One of the main reasons I think war wouldn't work with Gen Z is because the propaganda age of America is officially dead. And not just America, any country that has some form of free press is absolutely cooked. The reason why people back then were so patriotic and would do anything
they only had the news channels, man.
You had kids who were in high school lying about their age so they could serve in the army was because so many people trusted what the politicians said and how the media said things. Politicians were treated as saintly figures that would never do bad for the American people, because why would they? They sit on podiums and do cool speeches about us fighting for our democracy and freedom. And now we look back at certain conflicts America got in and realized that there was no point.
We were bamboozled.
Like, almost nobody nowadays thinks the Vietnam War was something America needed to get involved in. And it's crazy how the #1 superpower for military and all things lost to that were setting up Looney Tune ad traps in the ground.
No, that's genius. It's genius. Like, if you're walking through a battlefield, you see like dead bodies everywhere. There's probably a bunch of grass everywhere. You're not gonna really be thinking about these things. You take one step, there's probably a dead body sitting over it. You take a step on the body or trying to step over the body, boom, cooked. Caught you slipping, you know? I thought it was a good idea. Yeah, right. And they hold it's home field advantage. To lose in home, I mean, many people have lost at home, but shout out.
Also, the Iraq War is universally seen as a dumb war that shouldn't have happened by people now. Like, even Trump and Obama agree on that. That's probably the only thing they agree on. The reasons why these work, though, is because it was so much easier to push propaganda in the past. Like, in the Vietnam War, they were playing TV ads saying this was all about freedom and nothing else. Taking ads out the newspaper saying the only way to be a man is by getting drafted to war. And at the time before social media, everyone basically believed it because that's all that was shown. There wasn't anyone with major platforms that would go against it because they would get censored, and everyone watched media through a few news channels which would all say the same thing. During the Iraq War, though, that's when you first started seeing people actually start speaking up about things, saying, hey, maybe going into a country and murdering innocent civilians and committing war crimes isn't a good thing. Just maybe. But social media was still in its baby phases at the time it was going on, so there was still a lot of enthusiasm for it. But now with Gen Z, we grew up in the most free era of social media. No one would go because everyone would know it would be another lie that the government is doing. And the military's numbers have already been dropping more than ever. People have been making fun of it because they be trying to recruit soldiers anywhere they can now. They've been seen at anime cons. They got whole Twitch channels now. They even got them at NBA games now. I'm not gonna lie, if I'm watching my glorious
recruiting at an anime con is crazy. Like, you're not even trying to recruit at that point. What are you doing there? Who do you think is gonna join the military at an anime con? Bro, if I'm at an anime con, you think I want to join? Bro, my priorities are different. You know? I just like to watch anime all day and maybe goon at night when the sun goes down. We already deserting and the war ain't even start yet. I mean, no one really trusts the government anymore. And I think that's a bad thing and a good thing these days. Real talk. Like anything that we hear on the news nowadays, you instantly question it. Like I feel like we all do that now, and it's sad because that means you guys have lost your trust from your own people a long time ago. And secondly, you damn near can't get us to do anything that you want us to actually do. GG's. The Gooners are geeked up. What do you mean? That actually, fair point. Fair point, dog. The Gooners might be the new soldiers, right? You just got to get them a little bit worked up before they get on the battlefield. Goon them up a little bit. Tell them to play with their schmeats, and they might be out there ready to go. Testosterone up. Gooners are weak. I think they were weak. I think it's a new Gooner age now, Pancake. Huh? I think it's changed now. To be a Gooner means to be a man. No, I'm kidding. Show them the anime waifus and military shoes. Yeah, maybe the true deal is you just have to switch your propaganda. So instead of saying going to the military will make you a man, maybe it's going to the military will get you all the waifus you want. Going to the military will get you Ada Wong. Going to the military will get you the girl from Chainsaw Man. Right? Everybody will be on their hands and knees. Woof, 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 woof. If you're in, woof, woof, they'll be on there, woof, woof, barking, ready to go. Dogs in them. You feel me? Like, going to the military will rank your level up on Jerkmate to gold. Yo, bro, if you join, I can get you a Hellcat. That's what worked back then, right? That's what worked back then. It's probably still working a little bit now for the urban community. For the urban community. But like, if you want to, that's not enough people. That's not enough people to get in there. Like, you need to get the Caucasians, the Mexicans. How you gonna get them in there? You know, idea guaranteed wife if you fight for your country, because you know these in Gen Z can't do it. Ooh, hey, you fight for your country, we'll have a lady for you. You fight for your country. I think you do get papers from being in the military, though. Don't you get papers for being in the military? I could have swore you get papers if you're in there long enough. Yeah, dog. You gotta harp on that. Why wouldn't they harp on that? Why wouldn't that? That's not in commercials enough. That's not in commercials enough. You gotta be harping on that. Like, you want people to join, you gotta know their pain points. Like, come on, dude. But if we have the Gooners, we can't mix them with the females because God knows what the Gooners were gonna do. No, you gotta plot it. You gotta plan it differently. We are totally off topic on this video, but hold on. You gotta plan it differently. You gotta make the girls kind of like flirt with the guys a little bit, and like every night be like, if you kill a bad guy, I'll whisper mommy ASMR in your ear tonight. and look, we might just walk away with the W, right? You gotta play the game. You gotta play the game, chat. You gotta play the game. That would work for me.
King LeBron's now. They even got them at NBA games now. I'm not gonna lie, if I'm watching my glorious King LeBron putting up 40 points and a military sergeant comes up to me like, hey son, this game sure is great, right? Have you ever thought of the game of fighting for your country? Like, get the f out my face, bro. I'm watching LeBron. Even if there was a chance it was true and we were rightfully defending ourselves from evil, the US government has lost so much trust in the public.
That's what I'm saying.
Would believe them. I don't know a single man I've asked in Gen Z that said they would actually go if they got drafted. Most would rather just take the prison time or fine than go. And looking at it in the long run, it's not even that bad. It's 5 years in prison max if you don't go. So it's either you get 5 years max in prison for not going and stay alive, or go and potentially get obliterated on the battlefield by a missile straight to the head. Hey man, I don't know about y'all, but I'm throwing a party in that prison for every day we not in the warfield. I got a friend that served in the military for a couple of years, and even he said nowadays he'd rather take the prison time. Also, the younger generation has realized we don't want to fight a war because of a politician's beef. Like, why don't y'all fight it yourselves? Why I gotta grab the military equipment while you sit on a plane watching
you started it.
Champagne? They should host a boxing match every year for world leaders, and whoever wins, their country gets the most benefits for that year. Looking at our leader for now, though, yeah, we might be losing for the next couple of years if that happens. Also,
or we could just do a game of chess. We sit down, USA versus whoever, China. Leaders, game of chess, team battle, not 1v1, team battle. You feel me? We play like best of 10. Winners, you get what you want, man. Like, please, we don't need to kill every time. It's killing. I'm just tired, man. I'm just tired. Like, if you want to stay competitive, play some sports. A game of dress to impress, something.
Growing up in this age, we've gotten exposed to how badly these war injuries leave people. This right here might be the sole reason Gen Z would never join in. There's always a chance you could end up with one of those. People in war lose body parts I didn't even know was possible to lose. The day I'm at war and they try to obliterate my meat, the whole place is getting torn down. They should have tried to stop those images from coming out, because who the hell would want to potentially get involved in a war after seeing pictures like that? And it's crazy because it could happen at any moment to you on the warfield. One day you're chilling in the breezy weather of Iraq in
next day your mate is gone.
You're vibing, then you look to the right and see a man with 20 cc's of C4 strapped to his chest running to you at Usain Bolt speed. And now you end up looking like Two-Face back at home. I'm not sitting here and saying all of America's wars were unjustified though. Like, I always appreciate the veterans out there who fought, because most of the time, even if the war ended up being unjustified, a lot joined to fight for justified reasons and what they were told, and then felt bad when they realized it was a lie. And also for World War II, America was justified in a lot. Like, let's be real.
I think they were saying that people who are ages 18 to 25 and were sent to juvenile detention centers are targets to be drafted. Oh, wow. If that's true, that's just crazy. And honestly, it would make sense, though, because they'd be the most likely ones to go because they have, quote unquote, less to lose. Yeah, that's interesting. For sure.
Mainly making sure it ate all
Dookie on me? Open your mouth. What?
didn't end up owning the world. But like I said, no matter how justified a conflict may be, the trust is gone from the public. It'll take a real hard campaign to have the youth agree the government is totally not lying in what they're saying. And the president we have now is totally not a liar, right?
One thing I can promise you this: I will always tell you the truth.
You don't even believe that.
The fact that you celebrating a nigga telling you the truth just shows how ass we are right now. All he says is, I'll tell you the truth. And that's crazy? To tell him you're telling the truth? That was a line.
One thing I can promise you this: I will always tell you the truth.
He don't even believe that himself. Do you see his face? He was probably holding back a laugh so hard in his mind. That's the thing that's most important in a war. Having a person that the younger generation wholeheartedly trusts. It's a reason why a lot of dictatorships completely ban social media. Because they can fully propaganda the younger generation to look up to the leader, and they're all gonna believe in them. Even having someone that they trust is hard, but having someone that the younger generation doesn't trust, yeah, it's gonna be damn near impossible for the government to try to get us on the war train with that. 100%. No matter your view on Trump, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that most of Gen Z does not have a good view on him. You take a room of 10 of us, and I would say at least 8 people are gonna say they don't like him. And look, like I've said,
I think even if you voted for him, I'm pretty sure you'd be like, I still don't trust you. I just thought he was the better choice. When I thought if you join the military, you get to go to college for free. I think you do. I'm pretty sure you do. But you also have to ask yourself, how many people in this day and age actually want to go to college? Like, the pain point is just not there anymore. Like, it's just not. Like you have to find a pain point that, all right, so maybe it would work on you. But I feel like it's not as deep as it was back then, where a lot of people wanted to go to college. Nowadays, everyone's like, it's too expensive. I feel like I can learn way more out of it. I leave and I can't even get the job I want. I feel like, you know, so I'm pretty sure most people are like, give me something else. Give me something else. People don't want to go to college anymore? No, not nearly as much as they used to. Not nearly as much. Because I feel like college has just not produced many workers, many people in the workforce, right? And I don't want to exactly blame college for that. If I'm being honest, if I was to be completely frank right now, I want to blame you or the story that was told that college is supposed to be there to get you a job. That was a stupid story. That's not what college is for. It's there to help you learn how to think and pick up a new skill. After that, you still got to find other skills on what the frick you're going to do. It's just a stepping stone, gang. Yeah, and sometimes you just need a certificate and earn a lot of money, man. So maybe if it was like, we can give you a certificate for this, I can get you some cash. Maybe you'd get me, right? Because I can't justify.
Past. I'm not even one of those that's a Trump hater 24/7 and spends all day writing hate articles on him. But if you truly think the younger generation would fully be behind him declaring a war on another country, you're delusional. Bro, we just had a protest around the whole country against what he's doing. And because he's commander-in-chief and can set whatever war policies he wants, I would not trust what the this would implement. Like, what if he implements a policy where if your meat is smallest, you gotta be the first to go because you probably can't repopulate the population after it drops from all the casualties.
Crazy.
Like, I don't know if I can trust the man leading the war that says this on stage.
Because they asked me what I do, and I said, I'm gonna bomb the out of them.
Imagine he forgot there was a couple of soldiers on the warfield and threw one right in the middle of the fight. Also, another reason why the younger generation wouldn't be motivated to join in is because we really got nothing to look forward to and have no hope for an American dream. Our economy's still from COVID and inflation is still going on. No one can get a job on the mainland already. And most of Gen Z ain't gonna get a house in their lifetime. At least back then, when you fought a war, you had those things to look forward to. You came back and could work a shift as a cashier and buy a house in 2 years. Nowadays, instead of that, you're gonna come back and have no work available to you, probably still be living with your parents. All the femcells on Twitter and TikTok are gonna be laughing at the men dying on the warfield. And don't count on the government to help you either after. It's so sad to me that there's people out there that served the country and helped keep it alive, only for them to end up homeless with no help from the government.
Yeah,
In what
so
world
sad,
should homeless veterans even be a thing, bro? We spend $880 billion on the military a year. Everyone who served in war should be eating good and kicking back for the rest of their lives. They did something that none of us wanted to do, and the politicians, and then got the end of the stick. If I was them, I would take back all of my service and stay my ass on the mainland. The government has tried to right those wrongs and make better benefits for people, but you still end up with people who got left behind and have nothing after. The only reason why I would even join, to be honest, is the benefits. I just have to sit there and pray that a war doesn't actually happen. Because for real, I'd only want the free insurance and vacations. The warfield is a different conversation. I'm gonna have to take my prison time for that game. Anyways, that's gonna be it. For anyone in Gen Z that's actually worried about a draft in war, I'm gonna let you know right now, there's about a 95% chance no draft happens. Like, first off, half of our paycheck if you live in the United States goes to the military. We spend $880 billion a year on the military, and Iran spends a whopping $10 billion. Their whole military operation would get wiped in like 2 nanoseconds if they actually tried to attack civilians. They would learn the true reason why we don't have free healthcare. The last thing they'd ever want to do is let all politicians put their political beliefs aside and let Congress come together and let Trump do whatever the he'd want to do in a war. It wouldn't matter if their allies got involved, which I don't think they would even do. They would have so much more to lose with Iran, like it wouldn't be worth it. Also, they wouldn't do it because I'm here. They know I don't play when I say leave us alone. Anyways, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. As always, I love you guys consensually. And until next time, I'm out.
W video. He's right. War will not work with Gen Zers, man. They don't want to do that shit. They want to shake ass on TikTok. They wanna spend money on TikTok shop. They wanna do all of that TikTok and tick tracking. Niggas don't want to go to no war.